Number 10. The Voynich Manuscript. When a Polish book dealer purchased this book in 1912, he quickly realized something was extremely wrong. The pages of this manuscript were covered in a language that he had never seen before, and some of the pages depicted alien-looking plants that he could not recognize. Since then, the Voynich manuscript has remained a mystery, and the only definitive information about this mysterious book comes from carbon dating that proves that it was created in the 1400s. But despite the efforts of the best code breakers from both the First and Second World Wars, no one knows what the manuscript says, who wrote the strange book, or even what language it is written in. All in all, the book remains to this day surrounded in mystery. Number 9. The Kryptos Monument. Outside the headquarters of the CIA stands a strange monument made of code. In 1990, Jim Sanborn, a famous sculpture artist, created this monument you see here. Known as the Kryptos Monument, the sculpture is made of 4 encrypted passages. One of the mysterious passages only reads, "Between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of illusion." Despite the efforts of the best cryptologist minds at the CIA, the 4th passage remains unsolved. Number 8. The Beale Cipher. In 1820, a man named Thomas J. Beale desperately approached a local innkeeper named Robert Morris from Bedford Country, Virginia. Beale asked the innkeeper to hold a box that contained pages full of coded messages. Thomas Beale, the man with the mysterious box, was never heard from again. After a friend of the innkeeper devoted 20 years of his life to decoding the mysterious messages, he was able to only solve one of them. The first, as yet unsolved paper describes the location of the stash of gold. The second, solved coded page describes the content of the treasure. And the third, unsolved page lists the names of the treasure's owners and their next of kin. The treasure described in the second decoded message would be worth $63 million in today's money. To this day, the other pages have not been decoded, and not a single coin from the gold stash has been found. Number 7. The Phaistos Disc. Archaeology is a field that brushes up against ancient mysteries every day. However, the mystery of the Phaistos Disc is probably the biggest mystery in archaeology because nobody has any clue what it even is. The Phaistos Disc is a disc of fired clay found on the Greek island of Crete. It was probably created around 2000 BC, but little beyond that is known. Its sides are covered with mysterious symbols that have never been deciphered, and no one has even a clue about the purpose of the mysterious disc. The best prevailing theory is the writing is from an extinct language and probably will never be fully understood. Number 6. The Shugborough Inscription. This mysterious inscription on an 18th century monument has not yet been decoded, but some sources claim the monument's coded inscriptions lead to the Holy Grail. The monument is covered not only with coded messages, but with haunting faces as well. It is likely this medieval mystery will never be solved. Number 5. The WOW Signal. In 1977, while monitoring deep space, radio waves Jerry Adman's instruments began to spike and light up with strange signals. Realizing what was happening, he wrote on a data print in giant letters, "WOW." Adman went down in history as the first human to receive a communication from alien life. Adman was also amazed at how closely the signal matched the profile of what an interstellar signal would probably look like. The WOW signal originated from a distant star in the constellation Sagittarius, which is located over 100 million light-years away. The incredibly strong signal lasted 72 seconds and was never detected again. Number 4. The Tau Hum. Residents of Tau, New Mexico have complained for a long time that their town is plagued by a constant hum. The sound has been compared to the sound of a car's engine idling off in the distance. Earplugs don't stop residents from hearing the sound, and recording devices aren't able to pick up the sound emanating from the town. Still, the strange sound can be clearly heard by visitors. Whatever the cause of the sound is, it remains an unsolved mystery. Number 3. The Aluminum Wedge of Oud. The Wedge of Oud is a perplexing object that was found 2 kilometers east of Oud, Romania in a riverbank. The object was found 35 feet deep in the soil and alongside 2 mastodon bones. Engineers have reported that the strange buried object resembles the foot of landing gear. The fact that the wedge was found in the same layer as mastodon bones would probably make it at least 11,000 years old. This artifact is even stranger because aluminum was not discovered until 1808, and aluminum requires 1,000 degrees of heat to be manufactured. Number 2. The Zodiac Killer's identity. The Zodiac was a deranged serial killer who ambushed his victims in a black executioner's hood and left a strange zodiac symbol at each crime scene. He would often brag to the police about how many people he had killed and taunted them for failing to catch him. In his coded letters sent to the police, the Zodiac Killer promised that if they could crack his code, his identity would be revealed. Only one of his letters has been decoded, and it contained a disturbed rant about how much pleasure the Zodiac took in murdering innocent people. The closest the Zodiac ever came to capture was when a police officer rushed to the scene of one of the Zodiac's murders and spotted a man leaving the area. However, for some reason, the radio dispatcher had instructed the officer to be on the lookout for a black suspect, and the officer ignored the fleeing Zodiac Killer. Thanks to this one simple mistake, the Zodiac got away, and the gruesome serial killer's identity is still unknown to this day. Number 1. The SS Orang Medan Mystery. In 1947, 2 American vessels sailing in the Strait of Malacca picked up a desperate and disturbing SOS signal from the Dutch merchant ship Orang Medan. The radio operator aboard the Orang Medan sent a Morse code message that read, "SOS from Orang Medan, we float. All officers including the captain, dead in chart room and on the bridge. Probably whole of crew dead." Before the radio operator's signal abruptly ended, his last 2 transmitted words were, "I die." After the 2 American ships raced to the Orang Medan, they boarded the ship in a daring rescue attempt. The ship was found littered with corpses. The American crew members on the scene described the horrifying bodies as sprawled on their backs, with their frozen faces upturned to the sun, with mouths gaping open and eyes staring, like horrible caricatures. There were no survivors of the mysterious disaster, and the bodies had no visible signs of injury. A fire then broke out in the ship's cargo hold, forcing the boarding parties to evacuate. Soon after, the Orang Medan exploded and sank. Whatever happened to the crew and the radio operator who died during the middle of his desperate call for help will probably never be known.